While I absolutely love Muriel, the meta, not so much. However, in version 40, she has been given pretty significant buff indirectly. Shields now have armor is applied on shields. So basically your shields, anywhere from like an 8 to 30% buff in their effectiveness. Is there a way to make Muriel more relevant in today's meta with maybe some cards? And what is an effective way to play her that no other support can do? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a hero deck and guide. I am Sylphin. Now, we're taking a look at my shield battery build, all flat out true support. You need a crazy support, and you've picked Muriel. So, Centurion 4, the prime card, you need that tankiness. In the early game, you can start off with your dummy ward. You go out and place that. You come back, and then you have two options. If you can get away with the versatility, Menders and Shepherd's Files, and the Scout's Ward. If not, you just want the reliability, which is what I usually tend to do. Circlet of Health. After that, you go back and get your Lord's Ward. Then the next 3 speed, finish off your Circlet of Health. You have an option to go into the Silver Spear. You could go into the off lane with this build, but I mean, I wouldn't. I would stick. This is just for the safe lane. You can get the Silver Spear if you just happen to have a lot of CP. But I would recommend going into the next 2 very crucial cards, Quenching Scales and Honor the Pure. Finish off Quenching Scales, get Honor the Pure, either or, whichever one. You pretty much Quenching Scales first, then Honor the Pure, and then you have some options. Divine Shield or Purity Sensor. Divine Shield obviously help with tankiness and absorbing key abilities, or Purity Sensor for a phase, for an Aurora, stuff like that. So you have those 2 options, and then you finish off the deck with Chronomancer Disc, because that cooldown reduction is so important for her ultimate, for all of her other abilities. Very, very important, very effective, and a Tempered Plate. You finish this off for some great tankiness after you finish off the health on every other card, like your Lord's Ward, your Honor the Pure, Purity Sensor, etc. Final build, guys. Purity Sensor or Divine Shield. You pick one of those. Honor the Pure, Chronomancer Disc, Quenching Scales, Tempered Plate, and this Lord's Ward. Lots of health, which is what supports need, and then some guard here with the Tempered Plate. And if you get Divine Shield for the barrier, you're getting it because A, you don't need Purity Sensor, and B, there's probably some pretty key abilities that you can absorb. Now, here in the early game, you have to put down your dummy ward. I put it in this game right here, probably because I was feeling a little safe, and I had to put that down there. But I would prefer to put it right here because it helps against the mid laner who can go through the river, but especially the jungler that really likes to come through here. The dummy ward, preferably up there, but if not, down in your river there. Now, in this early game, it depends. What ability you get depends on who you're up against. You can go for her shield or her speed boost. Now, in this match, I happen to be saving my abilities here because the steel's not really doing very much of anything. So I'm like, I'll just keep that option open of whatever I need. Now, you probably are going to go for Consecrated Ground, her E ability. It deals 60 to 180 damage, 0.8 power scaling, can do good damage if you build into it, and gives you 100 to 325 shield in that AoE if allies touch it. So it's your bread and butter ability that you can use to get AoE shields to anybody that touches it. Very, very good. Now, obviously, you want to save this for any important enemy AoE abilities, ultimates, like this the enemy Gideon ultimate, for example, stuff like that. What you can also do here in the early game to really harass the offlaner, especially the steal here, if he's going to be in the minion wave, what you're going to have to do is put the shield down on top of the minion wave, on top of the enemy hero, dive in, get that shield for yourself, attack the enemy offlaner so that all the minions attack you, but you have that shield on. If they can attack you, you have your shield on. You can just go to town on them. Your carry can go to town on them, and then you just kind of run away scot-free. So it's a great harassment tool, plus it deals damage. You can be a great harassment tool using that shield to keep you shielded, deal damage to the minions, and the enemy off-laner. Now the second ability that you're probably gonna want to get is her right-click, or RMB, right? It's called Alacrity. This is a projectile that you throw out in kind of a straight line, again, just hovers, that gives 150 to 225 max movement speed for 2 seconds that decays. So this, if you can land it on a ally, or just kind of toss it right in front of you so that you get it, it gives you a speed boost, which is great for escaping, obviously. The shield is really not too much, only 75 to 225. In the early game, not that much, but in the late game, it actually kind of increases to quite a bit. And it is important. You want to save that for when you know that your ally needs to get away because the enemy used their engage ability, so that it's not wasted. So saving that is very important for right at the right moment, so that you can save your ally that is getting attacked from a melee hero. Now, the third ability that you're probably going to get, you switch these up depending on the scenario, is her Q, or her Serenity ability. You kind of load up your wings and you shoot an energy blast that deals 60 to 120 damage, but applies a 200 to 350 movement speed slow, and it has 0.6 power scaling. So again, if you actually put power on Muriel, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. What this ability is great for is for a little bit of burst, and obviously slowing down a target. If you can, especially here in the off lane, consecrated ground into a basic attack, into a very quick Serenity, you can do quite a bit of damage, including another basic attack. So it is really quite interesting. You can see there I saved my shield, my AoE shield for that Gideon's ultimate. Unfortunately, we did try to commit on the Gideon. Nothing happened. So between the slow from your Serenity and the movement speed increase from your Alacrity, you have some options to help targets to help allies either slow your enemy or speed up your ally. There is some option. Add a little bit of burst, only really in the early game and kind of into the mid game in terms of the Serenity and your damage output. Now you will see here in the early game we have our Lord's Ward. We went straight into Lord's Ward, and then when we died there, I almost finished off the Circlet of Health. The Lord's Ward, you just need it. Those wards, those visions, so important to keep you guys alive. Now, I'm finishing off the Circlet of Health so that I can kind of focus on a little bit more team sustain, as I feel like that definitely could be great value in your match. Now we have her ultimate. I could talk about this ultimate for forever, but hopefully I'm only going to talk about it a few times this video. It's called Reversal of Fortune. What happens is every 130 to 110 seconds, which is that's a long time, which is why we want that cooldown reduction, you can fly across the map on a selected allied target and grant them a 350 to 850 point shield and apply a 400 unit slow for 2 seconds, I believe, on enemies that are in a large radius around your ally. That is a global ultimate that has fantastic potential. No other support has that big of an influence across the map. So Muriel here, I'm going to be taking her as much as possible, I would say, to an off lane and split push with her. Yeah, she doesn't have that great with the E, with her consecrated ground, but it can definitely work. As you can see, we are getting taken out. She has great sustain, but unfortunately, it's not infinite. And here I am doing this like Muriel should. What Muriel offers here at the 15-minute mark, the 14, the 13-minute mark, she has the opportunity to split push here, get these last hits, get extra CP that other supports can't. Now, what this does is this enables us to get more support cards quicker and be a better support. What you need to do though is pay attention on your mini-map and look around. Like, you have to actually physically look in the direction that your allies are to see their health bars. You have to pay attention to the mini-map and to what is happening so that you can lock onto the appropriate target at the appropriate time and get to them with your ultimate. There is a delay when she has to activate her wings and kind of hovers in midair. There's a delay, so you have to land it. In this game, I miss a few of them, and we absolutely could have secured the win much faster, because I think there's a 2 or 3 crucial times that I kind of messed that up. So very, very important. What this allows her to do is, again, hopefully I'm very excited about it. So hopefully I don't say it more than this once or a couple times. She can split push, get CXP faster, pull enemies away to deal with her. And then when you ult to your team, you can easily create a numbers advantage that the enemy team doesn't. I don't get here very much in time. I shield our Revenant there from the Kalari ultimate. I get there, use my quenching scales to heal him up, and we at least get a 2-4-1. Now, unfortunately here, I see that Revenant's Obliterate coming. I use my shield. I'm trying to, at this point, slow down the Gideon so we can focus him down. But I'm like, ooh, we can definitely press the advantage. I missed the Serenity. The Alacrity, sorry, on my Sevrog that I wanted to boost forward so he could subjugate. But alas, it didn't happen. And when you don't have your ultimate, be very cautious. Be a little bit more willing to be closer to your allies. When you do have your ultimate, split push. That enables so much. You can pull an enemy away. Again, I'm talking about it again because it's just so exciting. She provides a unique opportunity that if your team can utilize appropriately, she's fantastic. Now, this is the validity of Muriel. No other support can do this. Assuming everything is the same, that we have been taken out, that we are dead, we are now in base because I was with my Revenant, like I'm supposed to be, at least supporting him, and we got taken out. Great gank, we got taken out. No other support can ult to the rest of her team and check this out. A fantastic shield to mitigate all of that damage there from the Gideon and that Revenant's Obliterate. We press our advantage here and get and actually make this so that we don't die. I get the kill there. No other support can do that. No other support can give your team that level of sustain. Watch this. Oh, the snipe! The Muriel snipe! In midair with a Serenity. Oh, I lost my shit when I did that. You can see I'm just like, oh my god, did you guys see that? Fantastic. It was awesome. It was awesome. Pat on the back, Sylphin. I love that. But there you guys go. No other support can bring that level of sustain, especially considering Muriel can have the quenching scales that we've gotten already. You can see we went into that as fast as possible, deciding to keep the circle of health just for a little bit longer. We can get the Honor the Pure, basically anything that any other support can. Plus we have our shields. The sustain is out of this world. Small tip, try to only go back to base when you have your ultimate ready. Yeah, you preferably want to be split pushing, but my ult was just coming off cooldown, so I took this time to go back and get our Honor the Pure, which, as you can see, we have gotten. It's an easy transition from the Circlet of Health now to the Chronomancer Disc. I chose at this point, I can definitely start split pushing a little bit more. I'm going to be needing my ult and my abilities, so we went for the Chronomancer Disc, providing some good mana regen for that reduced cooldown. Now, I could very much be across the map split pushing right now, but I just kind of... We were close, and I was walking in. Now, we got the Silver Spear because I really want that Purity Sensor, but I want to use that CP while I get it. I block out that Steel ult, and then I just kind of put Honor the Pure just to kind of totally mitigate that Gideon ultimate. Plus, I have my shields here. It's going to be very, very nice. Easy peasy engagement for Muriel. That's a one that you feel great. Those abilities are coming in, and you're just shielding your allies. You got to save that Honor the Pure for that moment. You know it's going to happen. Boom. Easy as pie, just like that. So in this case, we are up against a phase. Not a problem. Get that Purity Sensor for those blinds. Easy peasy, just like that. Hopefully mitigate that, you know, that part of a very strong support at the moment. Plus, if I can split push again and draw somebody away, you can see that this tower here was basically at a quarter health when we got here because I had been pushing that lane. Enemies have forgotten about it because it's just a Muriel. They have forgotten about their towers, and there's that damage. You can see we're putting pressure on the map because of me. Now, again, no other support can do this. I'm over there in the left lane helping out my allies, putting pressure on that lane, but I can also help this Seraph. And again, no other support can do this. I come in, and if this was executed a bit better, we could have definitely gotten this Kalari and this Revenant. I do believe I missed something there, and I ended up taking out that Revenant. But if I hadn't had missed, I think I used a Serenity in there. If I hadn't have missed that, yeah, we would have been golden. Unfortunately, they do come over and clean up, but oh man, I love Muriel. Now again, split pushing. I am 20% higher CXP than their support. I have Purity Sensor, Quenching Scales, Honor the Pure. Look at this sick shield there to protect my Revenant as we save him, get the kill, keep getting advantages. I got everything I need. Chronomancer Disc, Lord's Ward, so some health, Purity Sensor with some health, Honor the Pure, Quenching Scales. I am set. 20% more CXP than the enemy phase, and putting much more map pressure than she can. Once again, pulling over here, enabling my team to get a pick there on the steal because they were, well, they were even number, but they have all the damage dealers. Now, we come over here, shield in for that Gideon ultimate, both with my AoE and my Honor the Pure. So he was doing quite a bit of damage. Saving my Revenant here, obliterating that Kalari. My team is working well with the Muriel pick. That is the only thing needed. I'm totally snoozing there. As you can see, I look back, I'm like, oh, I totally saw that coming, but did nothing about it. Your team needs to play into Muriel's hand. They need to know when you have your ultimate and when you don't. They need to work with it. They kind of need to make their own plays because Muriel can only really support them. She can't make them like a Narbash, like a Steel. She just supports people making the plays. And, you know, that's just her thing. So if you don't have a team that works well together, that can kind of finish each other's sentences, finish each other's thing, Muriel really can't make those plays for the team. So Serath is doing Serath things, but I don't do Muriel things. No, total new mistake. Use your ultimate when you have time. Right now, gotta go right now. Too late. Don't do that. Don't. Please. Keep in mind, because I do it twice. and I think this is why we lose. I think we win. I'm not actually remembering. Either win or lose, obviously. But, yeah. Terrible time to mess up stuff like that. Yes, we steal Orb Prime, and again, there's me missing out on my ultimate. Fantastically done, Sylphin, but we come in and totally clean up. He goes into the realm there, so I didn't get my alacrity off on him, but I did use my quenching skills to kind of top him up there. And it's an easy peasy cleanup, just doing Muriel things. Because now we have much more health on our Lord's War that we've been getting a lot of. We got our Tempered Plate for that good guard, so that in those sustained engagements, all of that basic attack damage is really quite reduced. Other than that, you're getting health. You are just tanking up with the Purity Sensor. Honor the Pure, all the health on there, all the health on Purity Sensor, and that guard and health on the Tempered Plate. Very, very good game. I really enjoyed it. Back and forth. I was making mistakes. I was making some plays. Great game, I thought, to showcase my build, Shield Battery, for Muriel. I think she's more viable than a lot of people think. She just requires a different tactics and a different team. You gotta have a strong foursome that can really feed off each other, make the plays. All Muriel does is just make sure people don't die, alright? If people can make plays and not die, Muriel works very, very well. So please let me know what you guys think about that. We're trying some new settings on the video. I did a clean Windows install, so if anything's funky, if this looks horrendous, please let me know. We're trying something new. Paragon's running so much better. My recording was working so much better. I tried 1080p 60 FPS, and it was actually recording perfectly fine. So I don't know. I don't think I can do that, but let me know how this video went for you. Please like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, share it with the community, guys, and of course subscribe. If you guys like this content, especially if you found it useful, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Until next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.